Hey out there, I'm Rachel Nielsen, and in this video we're talking about how to communicate our sexuality. Sexuality can refer to a lot of things, from gender identity and romantic interests to patterns of behavior. This is generally called someone's sexual orientation. According to the East Asian Archives of Psychiatry, sexuality is broader than sexual acts alone. It is a combination of attraction, thoughts, fantasies, and sexual roles. Essentially, sexuality is about expressing who we are and who we like. What comes to mind when you think about communicating your sexuality? Do you think about the things you do, like standing a particular way, the style or types of clothes or accessories you wear? What about the things you openly say to people? There isn't always a need to say something explicitly. Sometimes, like when two people meet each other at a bar, there are signals being communicated and scripts playing out. But sexuality can be made more diverse than just what people can see on the outside and assumptions we make based on that. Most people have seen standardized identification questions like whether you are male or female, heterosexual or homosexual. As a result, our culture has been raised to think in the gender binary. Current research has led to the realization that people exist outside of bounded categories, that sexual orientation may be fluid and sexual orientation categories may be indistinct. A great way to explain a part of that is with this adorable gender unicorn.
Rather than expecting people to fit into perfect boxes to describe their sexual orientation, this adorable graphic helps people communicate on a sliding scale how they identify. Gender identity would be your internal thoughts about yourself and how you identify as masculine or feminine or a blend of both. Gender expression refers to one's external appearance and how you express your gender identity. That may be by conforming to society norms such as wearing your hair long or cutting it short or dressing a certain way.
For example, this is what my chart would look like. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hold on, doesn't sexual orientation include more than just gender and attraction? According to Charles Moser, sexual orientation is more complex than being based on the gender configurations of the individual and their partner. In recent years, other sexual orientations have been proposed, including asexuality and polyamory, among others. There are many other aspects to sexuality, including the sexual act itself and whether or not someone chooses to engage in it. In this way, both polyamory and asexuality are topics that can be used in defining one's sexual orientation.
Learning that there are different ways to love is a great step in being able to communicate your preferences and desires to others. The more comfortable and informed you are, the easier it is to communicate your sexuality confidently. If you never knew it was an option, how could you explain it to someone? That's why communication and inclusiveness is so important. Those who can openly express their orientation should do so to help spread awareness for the sake of those who are still closeted or lack knowledge. There are many kinds of love relationships, but not all of them include sex. In the US, monogamy is the most common form of relationship, and that generally means one romantic and sexual partner at a time. There's also open relationships, which include one romantic partner but may allow for other sexual partners. Polyamory is a form of relationship that allows for multiple romantic and multiple sexual partners at a time. You also have friends with benefits, which is a platonic friendship with casual sex. Not all relationships involve sex, though, as is the case with asexuality. Asexuality is the lack of sexual attraction to others or a low or absent interest in the desire for sexual activity. It doesn't mean that an ace has had a history of bad relationships or trauma or a fear of intimacy. They may even want romantic relationships or experience arousal. They may engage in sex, they may choose not to. They may even have a family, and they can be any gender or age. There's a huge range of relationships out there, and I hope that this helps you learn to communicate your sexuality. Thanks for watching.